Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to What a Load of Bullocks. We have a full pen this evening.
We do. And we've got one message. We've got more than one message, but I'm only going to read out the one from my wife, of course. Welcome back, Callum.
Thank
Great
you
to
very
have
much.
you back. So, anyway, let's read back to Maestro.
So, Sean, really interesting. Robin Williams, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Evan Almighty with all the animals, and, sounds like a great time. How, very interesting to find the transition from sun, beach, famous people to coming here to obviously the weather, those other changes. What was the biggest challenges that you found in hopping across the pond?
Well, I chose to move here at a terrible time. So, the first 2 years was okay. I was meeting people. I was meeting a lot of people. And I'm not someone who actually does that well. So I had to push myself, because I didn't want to sit in my house all the time. But then, as I was just finally kind of getting my feet on the ground here, COVID hit. Oh, no. And so when 2022 came around, I was this close to just packing up and leaving. But then I met a wonderful woman, and I'm still here.
A wonderful woman. I'd give Jean a shout out.
Yeah.
Very wonderful woman.
Yeah.
I suppose we better say Jean does reflexology.
Yes, she does.
She's one of the best in the country. I couldn't recommend her highly enough. But, you met a very, very nice Irish woman.
Yeah, and just, it's very lucky. Because that 2 years where you couldn't really meet anybody was just miserable. And we all have lived through it. So through my eyes, that was the biggest struggle, was just trying to figure out, how do I fit in when I can't meet people? And then it's opened up, and so the last 3 years have been a lot better. But 2020 through 2022 was a little tough.
Bit rocky.
Yeah.
We were lucky, I think. Reggie and I were married, obviously. We had two young children, so we didn't have to do too much in the way of homeschooling. It was kind of ABCs and a little bit of writing here and there. And it didn't really matter if you didn't do it too well. They were reading books.
You don't do ABCs too well.
Well, sorry, look at yourself there. Callum, you were stuck down in Callan. And,
I was. I actually moved here a month before COVID happened, and then great month. Oh my gosh, lockdown was terrible. But then I was lucky, because at the start of COVID, I got a job at Iran where I'm working now. You were
an essential worker.
Yeah, I was going to say valuable worker, but yeah, essential worker. So I was working all through COVID, so that was handy, because if you didn't have that, it'd be so isolating.
Yeah. I was a farmer. Well, I am a farmer, so I was allowed to travel around a little bit. Always had a part in the back of the car to make sure that, I was able to go somewhere and say, I'm just getting this part fixed. And that was all legitimate.
Good stuff.
I wrote myself a letter, actually.
During COVID?
Yeah, so because it was my farm, I own the thing, and you had to have a letter from your employer saying that you were on essential work or whatever, so I wrote myself a letter saying, "Dear whoever, or to whom it may concern, Patrick is an essential worker."
It's written in crayon. I am essential worker, Patrick Blunden.
No, I didn't take the mickey as much as some of our politicians and others did, but
playing golf,
and kind of going and getting essential papers from here, there, and everywhere. But no, I managed to kind of get around a little bit without doing too much damage.
The kids make it easy. I had two kids myself, but they were a little bit older. But the haircuts were the thing that got me. They were like, the Addams Family. They were like the Addams Family walking around. Just see a hairball coming out in the morning. Which one are you? The curtain's like pulling them back. But yeah, COVID, interesting. But so you're here now and you're settled and tipping away, as they say.
Yep.
And what do you do at the minute for work?
So I do websites and social media. I have a business partner, and Alan Armitage, and together we have Spiel Media. And some of our clients are Callan Autos, down in Callan, and Ryan's Bar. You've heard of it.
Oh, yeah.
Once or twice.
A lot of music there in that bar. Great bar, actually.
Yeah.
So Spiel Media. So if anyone's looking at our website done or any of that good stuff.
Yeah.
So I find that quite amusing. For somebody that says that they're kind of shy and retiring and not really want to get out there, you're a social media expert.
Yeah. But once again, I'm just pushing myself. So I had mentioned to you guys that I worked at Universal Studios, and funny enough, there aren't really any television or movie studios here in Kilkenny.
Not at the moment.
I mean, they do have Cartoon Saloon, but I'm not an animator. So I had to kind of reinvent myself when I moved here, and I just have really good computer skills, so I figured out how to do that. And yes, I continue to push myself to try and do videos.
Get out of your comfort zone. And
yeah. And as you can tell, I do I have an ability to talk at least, but...
That's an American thing, though.
I think so, because, you know, most Americans who come here are always like, you know, my grandmother's from... You all have heard the story.
Once or twice.
My father's from Mayo, so I'll just slip that in right there.
The amount of people that come up to Castle London and say, oh, my grandmother or my uncle or my great uncle or something like that worked here, and it's like, great, come in. Have a cup of tea.
Would you like to work here? Would you like a job?
Well, not the wages I can pay. You're on a what jersey are you wearing?
I'm wearing the Seattle Seahawks.
I thought it was the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah. Seattle Seahawks. They won yesterday. They beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are playing in Croke Park in 2 weeks.
Are you going to go and see that?
No. They're Seahawks are my team. So.
It doesn't matter. I mean, if you're an American football fan, you're kind of not going to see another
one. You know how much those tickets are to go see a team you don't care about?
They were saying...
No idea.
They were saying that apparently just that the NFL match in Dublin is going to bring in something like 38 million euros into the economy over 1 day.
Yeah.
Just from the people going to that match, which is insane.
People from Pittsburgh and Minnesota will be here, and we'll see them. They'll be wearing black and yellow, which is almost black and amber, so they'll look... Those folks will kind of fit in here in Kilkenny, but the others will be wearing purple and yellow, so they'll look like they're from Wexford.
And they'll be wearing Viking helmets as well, won't they?
Viking helmets, yeah.
Minnesota Vikings. Not that I know much about NFL, but there we go.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's really... we just got a text in there, just seeing it. What part of Mayo is your dad from?
Little Townsland called Fergal. It's between Westport and Louisburg. So if you go to Westport, you always see Croagh Patrick. If you shot across Croagh Patrick and landed on the other side, you'd be in Fergal. It's on the opposite side from Westport. And it's a lovely place, but I had no interest in living in the West.
No, you're right there.
You moved halfway. Halfway and no more.
I was thinking for other reasons, but yeah, okay.
It's windy out in them parts.
Oh, it is. They're getting slaughtered apparently with the wind today. No harm.
I can imagine.
Yeah, we're getting slaughtered down the south east as well. We had an awning and I started getting trashed. I sent the picture today and there's bits of it everywhere. But anyways, don't know why I said that. There you go. Having nightmares about awnings and wind tonight.
Sorry, Martin and his partner have got a caravan down in...
I think Had is probably the impression.
And I have been up and down to Wexford, I think, twice or three times to try to help you to do something with it.
Fix it.
And
yeah.
All of these sort of things, they're just there to make more work for you. If they're like boats. If you don't have to work on them every weekend, you're doing something wrong.
It's either the toilet, the water, or the awning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have to pay every year for
the pitch?
Yeah, we did have to pay every year.
They're going to be kicked out. There's an awning flowing across, like it's was it Mary Poppins with the umbrella? Gonna have Martin floating across the Irish Sea. No! I'm going to Sellafield.
Oh God, yeah. That was fun while it lasted. But, so Kilkenny. So, why Kilkenny? So, the Mayo connection there and, you know, I suppose middle of the country?
I chose Kilkenny for the reasons people would think of. Kilkenny's a lovely place. There's a great history here. There's always something going on. The music is great. There's always events. When I first got here, it was Cat Laughs, and then it was the Arts Festival, which I volunteered to help out at. And there's just something about the place, right? But other than that, and I won't bore your audience too much, but there was a board game community here, and I met some of the fellows here when I visited previously, and I said, that's where I want to live, and that's why I chose Kilkenny.
So you came to Kilkenny before you moved here?
Yeah.
Probably a smart move, visiting somewhere before you moved there.
Yeah. And
sounds like a bitter experience.
Hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, Callan can't be too far from the center of anywhere.
Yeah. And then you realise there's only 4 buses a day to get out of Callan.
Right. Yeah. That's that, and I definitely wanted to be close to bus and train lines, so I've done that. Yeah.
So it's interesting you said that, Colin. Like, you know, I don't think I really visited Kilkenny before I moved here.
Once or twice.
It's too quiet down there.
Yeah.
Once or twice. Once or twice, I suppose.
You weren't here on a stag or anything?
No, never. I was barely ever in Kilkenny. I came here like many moons ago for the food festival.
Savor.
That's it. Savor. Many
locals know
moons ago.
And that was it. Then you stayed.
I never really came to Kilkenny because like Cork and Dublin, like, you know.
Yeah, you're halfway to Cork.
Yeah, we don't really pass through Kilkenny, you know.
No, you kind of have to go out of the way. Yeah.
But yeah.
And trying to get to anywhere from here, unless you're going to Dublin or Waterford, is kind of impossible on buses and trains because you have to
ridiculous,
go to.
Though.
You have to go to.
Like
Dublin.
it takes let's say an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to Portlaoise, which is a 20-30 minute drive.
Yeah.
Mental.
Yeah.
Yeah,
crazy.
The public transport system. I'll talk about it for days.
They should have a bus straight outside my door to where I want to go.
Exactly.
Private.
There's so many people.
And I want it subsidised.
And I want motorways from Kilkenny to Mayo.
No, you're not right there. No, you're not right there. No, you're
What have you got against Mayo?
I'm not staying alive on air. Did
you have a bad experience in the pub there?
I still do. It's called every day.
Which do you guys think came first, the county mayo or mayonnaise?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think probably the county for some reason.
I would say so as well. Do you think that had an impact on how mayonnaise was named when it was discovered?
Did it come from Mayo?
I think it was French, wasn't it?
Oh, is it? Okay. You've got chips and Mayo.
Yeah.
I can't remember what country it was, and I said I was talking to my brother-in-law who was he worked on big sailboats for kind of mega rich back in the day, and we were thinking about going on holiday somewhere, and I asked him because he knew kind of all the areas and around the Med, and I said, what do you think of this country? What's the best part of it? And I got the answer I wasn't expecting: the airport. Get out of it as quick as you can.
Very good.
It was, yeah.
So you were saying board games.
Yeah,
big community. Is there a big community here in Kilkenny for board games?
There is quite a big community. There was when I moved here because there was a board game store. Some of the fellows that were running the store still run events, weekly events every Saturday down at the community hall in the Butts. And also because there are a lot of people from out of town because of the animation studios, and they're younger and maybe not drinkers, they have started gathering on Tuesday nights at the Clubhouse Hotel doing the Nerd Club. And it's a bunch of lads doing every type of tabletop game, from role-playing to, somebody mentioned Warhammer 40K earlier, to regular board games and card games. That I would play those rather than the other two.
So what is your favourite board game?
See, I'm going to mention stuff here that is going to make your audience turn out.
Would Risk be up there?
Risk would have been played when I was 12 years old.
Brilliant game.
It is if you're 12 years old.
No need for that. You can play Risk for days.
You could, yeah.
If you're not very good.
Okay, how about Monopoly?
The best way to play Monopoly is to throw it in the garbage. It's the worst game.
If you want to have an argument,
Yeah, I love Monopoly.
the best way to start an argument.
My wife's always the banker, so I always turn on her off automatically. So I think Monopoly's class.
Yeah, me too.
I understand. About 30 years ago, people started realizing that there was more than Monopoly, more than Risk, and they started making games that were maybe nicer,
like
shorter. Scrabble's one, but I would rather play a game called Paperback, where you're still spelling words, but you have more choice over what you're doing rather than grabbing random tiles out of a bag. So part of making board games great is giving the players the ability to actually do something rather than something random occurring, which is why Monopoly is not a favorite of mine, because you roll dice and you just do whatever your dice tell you to do, rather than, wouldn't we all just go to the best real estate places and buy them if we could? That's what board games where you have ownership of what you're doing. Those are the games I like, where you have choices, meaningful choices. So,
That's fair enough.
Yeah, and is the group open for new people? So if someone listening here wants to get involved with board games, is it something they can just pop down to or sign up for?
Yeah, just any Tuesday from 6 o'clock at the Clubhouse Hotel is the Nerd Club. And then Saturday mornings from, I believe it's 11 at the Neighborhood Hall at the Butts. If you're into playing Magic the Gathering or Pokemon or card games like that, Yu-Gi-Oh! Card games like that.
Okay, and did he teach there as well, or is it just...
I'm sure, most people are very welcoming and will teach. That was one of the things that I also did to try and meet people here. I did host board game nights at pubs locally, and you can't ask people to go. I played Risk before and put them down like I just did.
You bring them
every day. I don't mind. I still think Risk is a class game.
It is, but if you'd be interested, we can play something else. But
I heard you saying Pokemon. Did you say you play Pokemon games?
I don't, but they do on Saturday mornings.
And can that be open to children as well now?
I believe they can.
Because I might bring Adam there. What time is that on?
11 o'clock on Saturday mornings.
Okay. That's class.
Yeah.
In the Butts?
In the Butts. At the Neighborhood Hall, yeah.
Okay, I'm afraid we've got to take another quick break and we'll be back soon.